Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Wednesday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. So, today, we got a pretty special one, I guess you could say, just because I always consider it special just because whenever I drink a beer from a brewery I've never tried before, I feel like it's a nice special occasion. I don't know. But I'm pretty damn excited for this one just because, first of all, like I said, this is a brewery I've never tried before. And then, second of all, I'm a big fan of Baltic porters. If you guys don't know, I'm just a fan of just darker beers in general when it comes to stouts, porters, you name it. So this one is definitely going to be on my radar, I think, of being something I'm most likely to enjoy because we got one here from Saltfire Brewing Company. They're out of southern Salt Lake City, I think it is. This one is called Putin the Fritz. It's a 9.6% Baltic porter, which Baltic porters are definitely very, very unique. They definitely have really nice, robust flavors. Of course, having really nice kind of malty sweetness in them. Let's bring in notes of like toffee, caramel, all that kind of stuff. But then also bringing out a lot of like dark fruit notes, like plum, raisins, all that kind of stuff. Like a very, very nice kind of balance between the two things. And of course, a Baltic porter is always clarified as ingredients that were grown near the Baltic Sea, just because that sea has like a different kind of salt content to it, to where those kind of flavors get into the grain as it's growing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty damn excited to give this one a try. Of course, I've never tried anything from Saltfire before, so when it comes to knowing a lot about this brewery, not really knowing much. They pretty much they're out of Salt Lake. They have a decent amount of beers. I believe this one is available at the tap room as well. This is like one of their token Baltic porters and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they just have a really nice lineup of beers. Of course, their beer menu is pretty nice. Of course, you have a bunch of IPAs, fruited sours, pilsners. They have every kind of category of beer under the sun available for you guys to try over there. So if you're over in the Salt Lake City area and want to give these guys a try, I would definitely recommend it. But without further ado, I think it's time for us to crack this guy open and see what this thing is all about on the nose, because I'm kind of excited to drink this one. So let's see what this thing's like. Of course, I'm expecting some nice roasty notes. We're definitely getting like almost like a coffee kind of note to it. Definitely has a decent amount of sweetness on the nose as well. But yeah, definitely has a lot of those stout porter kind of notes you would usually get on the nose. Roasty, like kind of robust, and it smells absolutely delicious. So I'm excited. Gonna be drinking out of my Riverlands Brewing Company, out of local brewery of mine. Riverlands, they're in St. Charles, Illinois, little tulip class, and let's see how this guy pours. Not expecting really much syrupiness to this, because this kind of style of porter definitely has more of like it's a little bit of a bubbly mouthfeel, a little bit of effervescence to it, but as you can see right here, it definitely has more of like a brownish kind of color, instead of like that like syrupy, black as your soul kind of thing that you would get out of like a barrel-aged stout. But yeah, look at that. It has a nice head, went away pretty quick. Yeah, still getting a lot of like roasty, robust notes on the nose. Yeah, it smells absolutely delicious. So I think it's time for us to give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely has a lot of really like deep and like kind of a lot of coffee flavors going through. Definitely has more of a drier mouthfeel at the end. But coffee notes are there. Definitely getting almost like a bitter, semi-sweet chocolate kind of flavor in there, to where it's just like it's not like a straight up dark chocolate, but there is definitely an amount of sweetness that could be from those natural malty sweetness in there from the flavors from that. But yeah, it's very, very deep, has a lot of depth to it when it comes to just the roasted flavors. Of course, there's a slight sweetness, and overall, yeah, it's pretty damn solid. There's nothing really like standing out to like with this one when it comes to unique flavors. Of course, I'm not really getting much of like those like plum, raisiny, date kind of flavors. I think the malty sweetness is kind of giving me notes of like caramel, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of toffee. But overall, yeah, flavors definitely spot on with this one. Of course, not really get much of a booziness with this one at all, with it being a 9.6, because in my opinion, this is definitely one that is not sessionable. I don't really see anybody sessioning a stout, in my opinion, even unless it's like a Guinness or something where you can just drink those like water. But overall, this is definitely a pretty damn solid one, if I say so myself. So let's look here on Untappd. And of course, if you can't get your hands on anything from Saltfire, Untappd usually has a lot of different similar beers when it comes to what they show on there. And of course, once in a while you get a beer, what they show on here, what their similar beer list is kind of often on once in a while, just because, I don't know, I guess if it's not as common of a beer for people to be checking in, they have like a blanket kind of group of similar beers. That's what it looks like. It's because I've had a lot of sours that I've looked for similar beers for, and of course they have like the same 5. And this one has literally 4 beers from the same brewery, and of course it's probably from a place from like Brazil or something like that. And then we got one here called BA Spirit Migration, which is from Branch and Bone Artisan Ales, which is a 10.6 Baltic Porter, which that's definitely, you're going to be definitely getting more boozy notes of that one. So when it comes to looking for a Baltic Porter, of course, you can kind of, if you're looking for like a nice blanket kind of style of a porter or a stout, that's definitely a good place to start. But when it comes to the Baltic Porters and all that stuff, you're definitely going to notice a little bit of like, it's not as creamy. You're definitely going to be getting a little bit more of a drier mouthfeel to it. Definitely a little bit more bubbly on the mouth as well. But overall, finding a similar beer to this, I would say, I don't want to say looking at your average everyday kind of just really nice, easy drinking, a little bit higher ABV stout or porter would probably work with this one. So overall, the flavors in there are good. Definitely has a lot of the characteristics that if you enjoy a stout, you will most likely enjoy this one. So finding a similar beer to this guy, there's so many out there when it comes to different stouts that bring off the same kind of flavors as this. So if you're just looking for a nice, easy drinking stout, when it comes to not wanting to chug it or all that kind of stuff, having something that's a lot higher ABV, something you could sit back and relax with, of course, this is definitely going to be one on your list to kind of look for, because it's pretty damn delicious. And yeah, it's good. Definitely, once you start drinking a little more, the booziness starts coming on a little bit more, but it's nothing that like it's too boozy or you're not getting like a bourbon kind of flavor in it. So let's look in here. Of course, right on there it shows verified locations where you can possibly get your hands on anything from Saltfire. So we got a place in Chandler, Arizona. We got a couple places in Utah, 2 places in Ogden, Utah. Then you got, of course, Saltfire is a verified location on there. They're in South Salt Lake. And then, so 3 locations in Ogden, Utah. So if you're in Utah and want to get your hands on anything from Saltfire, it looks like their availability out there is pretty good. So you might be able to get your hands on this stuff. Okay, so let's look here and see what the description of this guy says. Of course, before we read the description, let's see what it says. Like it says here, 9.6% ABV, and with over 1,005 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.04 out of 5, which is, pretty damn solid. Pretty damn solid for a nice, simple drinking Baltic Porter. So let's look and see what their description of this guy is. So right here it says, Saltfire presents a Baltic Porter worth voting for. Whether you like it or not, when you open this bottle, dark and light notes meet, sometimes in secret, to produce a complex aromas filled by rich, enchanting flavors. It's our version of Mad Brewery Science. Share one with your friend and you'll agree there is a method to our madness. I don't even know what the last freaking words is. Nazavordi? I have no idea what the hell that means, but yeah, like it says right here in the description, they're definitely a nice mix between like simple flavors, complex. Definitely the aromas are different from what you're drinking on, of course. So you're definitely getting different aromas from what you get when you try it. So overall, this is definitely a little bit more complex than I thought it would be, but even though it still has flavors of like your normal everyday kind of easy drinking kind of Baltic Porter and like a stout and all that kind of stuff. So there's nothing really, in my opinion, something to write home about this one, but overall it's still an absolutely delicious porter. So let's look here on my friends list and see if there's anybody on my friends list who checked this one in. Of course, we got one here from the Better on Draft podcast. They drank this one when they were recording their episode 263 of their Better on Draft podcast. Of course, you can see it on YouTube. Just search Better on Draft. You can, if you want to see like a little bit more of a brewery kind of style podcast, those are the guys to go to. But then we got here my father, who checked this one back in August, and he gave this a 3.75 out of 5, which I get probably where I'm going to lead this one. Of course, he purchased it off Tavor, which is how we got ours. But let's look here on the global rating and see what people had to say. So this person gave it a 3.25, purchased it at the Hop Central Brewery and Tap Room. Let's see, this guy gave it a 4, purchased at Hop Central. Another a 3. We got a 4.25. We got a 4.25 purchased at Saltfire. We got a 4, purchased that on Tavor. Let's see, this guy gave it a 3.75, saying slightly boozy and quite filling. Roasty with a slight chocolate flavor, interesting, strong hot chocolate-like aroma. Yeah, I'm not really getting much of the hot chocolatey kind of notes, but he's definitely getting the booziness coming on and a lot more. It definitely has a nice kind of robust, roasty kind of flavor in there. Definitely getting those chocolates, even though they're more of like a semi-sweet, leaning more towards like a dark chocolate. But overall, the flavors are still really, really good. It's definitely a nice kind of beer for a cold day like today. And of course, we got one more couple. Let's look at a couple more check-ins. This guy gave it a 4, and then this person gave it a 4.75 out of 5. So that guy must have really liked it. So overall, ratings are pretty damn good, I would say, on this one. So let's look here and see what we're going to be doing for our ratings on this guy. So, of course, we always start with can art. Let me pour a little bit more into the glass. And yeah, I really enjoy Saltfire's can art just by looking at this one, because there's a lot of the font's really nice. The colors they use in the background, it's almost like you're in Moscow kind of situation, having those kind of palace-like buildings and all that kind of stuff. So having like an abstract kind of thing where it's like you're seeing the top and like looking in a mirror almost, or like kind of seeing it through a pool. So I love seeing like the front side up and the upside down kind of version of it. The Saltfire logo I really like. It has almost like scratched on kind of look. I really like the anglerfish with the hops as the light kind of thing on it. I think that's a really cool kind of course, when a lot of breweries kind of make their logos, they're always adding like either hops to it or something with like a beer mug or something like that. So having that little anglerfish with the hops on there, I think is one of my favorite touches of seeing on a can for sure. But then the name's really nice. So everything about this label is appealing to me. The colors, the font, definitely something that would catch my attention at a liquor store or bottle shop for sure. So I'm going to give this one a solid 4.5 out of 5 for can art. I really, really do enjoy this. This would definitely be one that would be on my list for like, if I'm going to save a label, this would definitely be one that I would save personally. So let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at Saltfire, would I have another one? To be honest, absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely, like I said, it's nothing that's like revolutionary when it comes to the flavors in it. There's nothing really in there that I haven't tasted it before in any kind of other Baltic porter or your average stout or all that kind of stuff. So it's just a porter done really, really well, and that's all what you can ask for. You just want a good beer to drink, and this is definitely something that delivers on that aspect. So I would definitely get another one of these if I had it in a flight for sure. If I was in the mood for like a stout or a porter, this would definitely be one that I would have while I was there. So let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for final ratings on our end here. So let's see. What am I going to do with this one? I think I'm going to give this one a very, very solid 7.75 out of 10. Really, really do enjoy it. Of course, if you like a nice porter, if you like a nice stout, this would definitely be one that I would think would tickle your fancy. It hits all those notes that I look for when it comes to a stout, even though sometimes I like a little more sweeter notes. Sometimes I like that a little bit more of a syrupy mouthfeel. And once in a while, it has that little syrupy aspect, but a lot of it has like a little bit more of a bubbly mouthfeel. Has some nice effervescence to it. So overall, yeah, it definitely delivers on what I enjoy in this kind of style of beer. So that's one thing I definitely am giving it props for. It's nothing that under-delivers or any aspect or anything. And absolutely delicious. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. 7.75 out of 10 is definitely where I'm going to be leaving with this one. But overall, yeah, if you can get your hands on this one from Saltfire, I definitely think you guys would enjoy this one. If you're a fan of stouts, this would definitely be one on your list. Be like, hey, let's give this one a try. If you see it at a liquor store or bottle shop, give it a shot. I think you might enjoy it. But of course, if you want to see more stuff from Saltfire coming in your area, always can recommend getting yourself over to your local liquor store or bottle shop. Ask them if their distributor carries it or can get it in, because if somebody's asked for it, they'll most likely be able to bring it in and get some in stock for you guys. And of course, if that's not an option for you, Tavor is always a great option as well. You guys have heard me talk about Tavor plenty of times before. It's a beer delivery / beer subscription service based out of Washington State, and they take advantage of small carrier service when it comes to delivering the beer to you. So you can go to their website, which is down in the description below for you guys, and they'll direct you to the App Store, whatever phone you use, Android or Apple, and you can download the app And when you're creating an account for Tavor, just because they take advantage of small courier services, there might be a little bit of a shipping issues depending if you're living in more of a rural area. I don't really see a lot of issues when it comes to living in like bigger cities and all that kind of stuff. So just download the app. When you're creating your account, they'll make you put in your zip code and they'll let you know right away if you can get stuff delivered to you, because it's a fantastic platform. They're always updating their app when it comes to different beers. Tons of reliable breweries. Saltfire's on there. You can get breweries like Anchorage, Drecker, Adroit Theory. There's so many fantastic breweries that show up on that app when it comes to stuff that you can order, and the prices are relatively cheap too. So you're definitely spending a decent amount. Like, you're getting a nice bang for your buck kind of situation, and when you get your beer, you're only going to be paying for $15 flat shipping for how many beers you get. I've had a pretty hefty order one time to where I only spent $15 in shipping. So there's definitely a bang for your buck when it comes to using Tavor. So, of course, if you want to get a link to Tavor, you can always just go directly through the App Store, or just link in the description, or you can hit me up on any kind of social media platform and ask for a referral code. I can send one your way, and you can get a free $10 in beer, and I can get a free $10 in beer. So that's always something that we would all enjoy, I think. But other than that, last but not least, before we get the hot here, guys, if you're a fan of social media, if you like craft beer and all that kind of stuff, you're sitting on YouTube watching stuff, if you're like talking about craft beer on social media and all that kind of stuff, there's one place you guys need to get yourselves onto, and that is Untapped. If you're not over there yet, you definitely need to do so. It's pretty much the main hub for craft beer when it comes to mobile phones and just using the website, and just every craft beer lover should be using Untapped. It's a really, really fun platform. You can check in beers, get badges, see what's popular in your area, see what's popular globally, and all that kind of stuff. It's just really, really fun. Plus, they did get a lot of discount codes and coupons for all kinds of stuff out there. So it's just a platform that I enjoy using. I use it at least every day. I'm on there at least every day, seeing whether people checking in and all that kind of stuff. So you could see people like me, when Tucky's on there, Lead, Ian, Duchess, Logan. There's so many people within the small community we've created over here, and of course through other communities that we're all part of that use Untapped. It's a really, really fun platform. Who knows? Face Meat might be on there. I haven't. Face Meat, are you on Untapped? I feel like I haven't seen you on there, and if you're on there, I need to add you because I want to see what you're drinking as well. So if you can drop your Untapped name in the chat, Face Meat, so we can all give you a friend request on there. Let's get more people directing towards what Mr. Face Meat's drinking, of course, then we can all see what each other's drinking as well. So, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I have for you guys today. So thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and help me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know when I ever go live, do another review. And of course, if you're watching this in the replay, thank you. You guys are all some of the best ones out there, because you guys are taking time out of your day to watch my stuff, of course. And a lot of my views come through the replay as well, so I don't want to leave you guys hanging with showing the thanks. But other than that, that is what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.